Something we come across all the time in what we do with small businesses is performance issues with employees that haven't been dealt with soon enough. Really, really common, something we come across all the time. So today I've got 4 reasons for you why dealing with performance issues early as you possibly can is definitely the best way to go. Reason number 1 is it helps protect you later. It's kind of the backwards reason, but it helps protect you later. If you've had informal conversations with someone about their performance and you've documented these, make a note of what was said, record it on their file. If you've had those conversations and can demonstrate that later, if you end up in a situation where you're either having to dismiss somebody or potentially defending a tribunal claim even, the fact that you've raised it sooner and have documented that will help you defend that claim or help make the dismissal more robust. So it's a preventative measure, it's a protective measure, even leaving aside all other benefits. That's number 1. Number 2, you might find an underlying issue. There might be a cause to the poor performance that you have no idea about. It could be something health related, could be something personal, it could be something to do with employees not getting on, it could be technology, all sorts of things. But you might find an underlying issue. And actually, if you're putting off dealing with poor performance because you're worried about it turning into something awful, which is what people are generally worried about, but actually there's an underlying issue that could be potentially easily fixed if you knew what it was, that's really frustrating, isn't it? So if you could find an underlying issue, really worth addressing it really soon, because you could fix it really easily, or at least know how to address it in the best way to get the result you want. So that's number 2. Number 3 is, let's face it, it doesn't go away. If someone's not performing, they don't magically improve. It doesn't happen. Sometimes we have this kind of wish that, oh, you know, I'm sure they'll get better. Let's not rock the boat. Let's not worry about it. It won't go away. It doesn't go away. So with the knowledge that it's not going to go away, isn't it better to prevent escalation? Escalation of these kind of issues in a small business particularly is awful. It affects everybody. It can really drain a small office or a small workplace where everybody knows everybody. It can be terrible. So really your number 1 priority should be preventing it escalating to that point. And the only way of doing that is addressing it early. By ignoring it, it won't go away and then it will escalate, or it's very likely to. And the final reason is if you address it early, if you pick it up early, what you can find yourself doing is maybe training or additional support, those kind of things, instead of formal kind of disciplinary or other similar action, some kind of formal process. And actually, especially if you're working in a small business, but actually any business, isn't it nicer for everybody involved to be giving someone additional training or giving someone extra support, rather than having to put someone through a formal process and hearings and all those sorts of things? Training and support is much nicer. So if you pick something up early enough, you should hopefully be able to address it with some additional training or additional support. It's much more pleasant for everybody. It's much more effective. And hopefully you'll avoid getting to the hideousness of having to do formal performance management in a small business, which is awful for everybody. So yeah, there's 4 reasons why addressing performance really early is absolutely the best way to go.